everybody. We have a special episode. As you guys can see, not only do I have one guest, two guests, but I have four guests on Unarmored Talk podcast. I have Kevyn Major Howard. You guys know, with his beautiful, wonderful wife, Tiffany, who's the commanding general, by the way. The entire, you guys know that she's the boss. But again, good to see you guys. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having
Thank
us
you.
again.
Thanks.
Major, good to see you.
And it also, we have joining us some amazing Americans, and some amazing people who care about people, who care about the future of our nation. That's Chuck Conder and James Kochevar. We call James Ruggs. What's going on, gentlemen?
Looking great, Sergeant Major. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And then Chuck, thanks for your service. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck has served also in the United States Air Force. So again, Chuck, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let's jump right into it. If we could just kind of tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about ourselves, and let's get right into this important topic. Kevyn, you know the deal. Tiffany, over to you guys.
Good.
Go ahead, T.
All right. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone, or good day, everyone. My name's Tiffany Kalisz, and I'm a volunteer with Fuel by the Fallen. I help with the events coordinating, and I'm also lovely wife to Kevyn Major Howard.
I'm Rafterman, Full Metal Jacket, but also, more importantly, the figurehead to an organization called Fueled by the Fallen. And what it is a 21-car salute to our heroes, those who had paid the ultimate sacrifice. We have taken vehicles, race cars, and adorned the names of those by rank and name. It began with a 1963 Chevrolet Nova, and it was for the Marines. Then it became the Air Force, the Army, all branches of service. Then it became 3 police cruisers that carry the names of all those that paid the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. And then to complete our story, it was the 5 911 Angel Camaros. A lot of you have probably seen them on the highways of America. They've crossed country 3 times and stood at the feet of the Statue of Liberty. She blessed them on their good work and their journey. And then I want to introduce Ruggs. Ruggs, we met at a rap show in Long Beach. And Ruggs, take it away from here, brother.
All right. Well, I'm James Kochevar, or Ruggs, as Kevyn calls me and everyone else calls me. I'm the creative director for a company called North Star Graphics and Promotions. Kevyn is referring to RapsCon, which is a show that I've put on for the last 8 years in California that is geared towards vehicle wrap installations, so all things graphics in that orientation. Kevyn and I met at the show, and he brought me kind of into the fold as far as Fuel by the Fallen is concerned. And I mean, this is a cause that touches every American, and I just could not help but dive in with both feet. So I'm excited to be a part of it and bring the community of the raps market together with this program. So,
and by the way, just so you get an idea of who Ruggs really is, very, very talented rap artist. I came to him with a dilemma, and the dilemma was our cars have suffered 11 years on the road, and they need to be reborn. They need a whole new look. And Ruggs stepped up to the plate and said, Kevyn, I have just the team to make that happen. I can drop the jaws on Americans who will now see the future of these 5 911 Angel Camaros coming across our country highways.
That's exactly right. Kevyn, as I had mentioned before, my passion was just instantly sparked. And I thought, gosh, I've got amazing contacts within this market. Who could I get involved? Well, I just so happened that morning to host a panel of what I consider the Mount Rushmore of rap designers. These are 5 of the best, most talented people in the market. And I could not wait to deliver this message to them that I wanted to get them involved. And if you would have seen their faces light up, and they were all in immediately. So again, good patriots, great artists, and people who are stoked to get on this. I mean, we're already, the wheels are turning, and we've got sketches flowing, and we're excited to bring not just the talents, but the emotion, to evoke that type of emotion that a graphic can do, more than just a name, more than just some words, more than just a logo, but actually bringing that passion through those cars. I can't wait.
Excellent.
And I'm going to throw this back over to Major Chuck Conder. first off, thank you for being the patriot that you are, serving our country in uniform as your son does. I know you can share a story or two about the people we have met along the way. Chuck, please.
So I met Kevin by chance 15 years ago. And as I tell people, that day he reached through my chest and he stole my heart. And it's been an honor to be with a man I now call my brother for this journey with Fueled by the Fallen. And he's right. We've met so many people. In 2011, we were on our first cross-country tour. We were in New Jersey, and we met the wife of a man named Robert Cruikshank. Robert worked for Car Futures. And as the wife said, you think you know your husband, but you really don't. After he passed, the stories she heard, one including that one of his secretaries was in her third trimester, very pregnant, and he found out that she was walking 9 blocks to her car every day. So he gave her his parking space in the towers, and he was walking the 9 blocks every day. When the tragedy happened, he called his wife and said, I'm here, I'm fine, don't worry. But I've got people still inside. I'm going to go get them out. And that's the last thing she ever heard from him. We're at 9/11 in Rosemead, California. And this mother and daughter showed up who had just moved from New York to Rosemead. Didn't know we were there, didn't know who we were, came up and said, wow, what is this? And we told them, and she said, wow, would my husband be on this car? And Stacy and Samantha got a chance to see Robert's name, Robert Dolan, on the car. We heard the stories. Samantha didn't know her dad. She was only 2 years old, but they did not know we were there. But we know that these cars have they've got the souls of these people with them. And they just decided at the last minute, hey, let's just walk down and see what's going on, because Robert was calling them. He knew that his wife and his daughter were there. And gentlemen, I can't tell you how many times that's happened over our 12 years with these cars. Countless times, because the Lord has been on our shoulders with these cars, and he has blessed us by meeting these families and hearing the stories, and we'll continue to tell the stories so America never forgets.
You know,
Yeah,
Sergeant, I just want to say this one last thing in compliment to what Major Chuck Conder just said. Our babies can't walk into their future if they do not know their history.
right.
And the reason why these cars were born is it's the most incredible canvas to paint with. Every child 2 years old will stare at a car. Every 92-year-old will stare at that same car. So the canvas is ultimately the best to tell the story of our heroes' sacrifice.
Yeah, and I love the effort. Because just yesterday on September the 11th, I saw an article that had Marines in recruit training, and it said that this is history. Like they weren't even born. This is something that if we don't teach, and what you guys are doing as a team, Fueled by the Fallen, they wouldn't even remember. And then two, to do this today on September the 12th of 2023, to do this where we are establishing history, where may we never forget, even after. I applaud every single one of you. And so you mentioned 5 cars, not 6, not 4, but 5. Why 5?
Each one actually tells a story of 9/11. So Angel 1, and they're all named Angel. So Angel 1 is police, fire, and paramedics. Angel 2 are the World Trade Towers. Angel 2 and 3, excuse me. Angel 4 is the Pentagon and Flight 77. And Angel 5 are all the flight victims. So no matter where we're at in the country, traveling across, up, down, everywhere we go, somebody finds a name on the car, whether it is a coworker or a loved one. And the stories, just like Chuck was sharing, that's why I got all emotional. I'm sorry, I was crying.
Yesterday was a difficult day for all of us.
We all do. It was.
It really was. And I think this is the inertia is now dripping off of our faces, because again, with Rug's help, we are going to rebirth our storytell and make a difference. This is what these cars do, is they make a difference. I'll tell you, we can be traveling down the highway and we have a convoy of people chasing us down with their cameras. And then when we pull into a gas station, as anybody would, it would take 6 minutes to fill your tanks up. However, with the 9/11 Angels, it's 49 minutes later and everybody's got a grin, and every child is being photographed by the names and being introduced to what the storyline is for America in its past and moving into its future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just listening to you, Kevin and Tiffany, and going through the five, it just brought back so many memories. And now, Ruggs, here you are. Kevin had this vision, we'll say 100 years ago, because Kevin's never going to die, by the way. He's biblical.
That's our hope, brother.
I love the way you just said that.
My wife tells me all the time, Mario, it's in the Bible, we'll live to be 180. But Ruggs, now you're partnered with the team. What emotions have what's going through your mind now that you could use your natural talent and skills and now do this? That's forever.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a bit of a heavy mantle to pick up. I just say that in the fact that obviously so much good work has already been done.
Yeah.
That I want to make sure that me and my team's efforts are not, we don't fall short. If anything, we want to kick a 50-yard field goal, even though we're only on the third, on the 3-yard line, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's such an honor to be included in this. It's also something we know as the artists who are putting out car wraps and bus wraps and those sorts of things. We have people that have wrapped the Super Bowls, who have wrapped Justin Bieber's tour buses. People that, I mean, you name it, if it's out there and it's been the NBA Finals or the Grammys or other things, these are things that there's wrap out there that you don't realize is there. You think, oh, somebody did a beautiful paint job or somebody did what have you. Well, many of those things are actually wrapped. And to get to work with the artists that I get to work with, they put out incredible work all day, every day. And it has a way of evoking emotion, whether that's your favorite band or your favorite team. And let's face it, America, that's our favorite team, right? So we're excited to be able to take those talents and put them on these vehicles. We want them to drive down every street and snap necks. I mean, we want people just, paying attention and not being able to look away. And we want to have those moments where people not only see a name, but they see the message in the vehicle. They see that moment in time captured. They can look at it and it becomes so much more personal. So we're excited, a little nervous, to be perfectly honest. To be able to do this carries a burden, and we want it to be that way because we want every effort that goes into this to be meaningful, if that makes sense. So again, just excited to have this opportunity. The guys, when they took their vehicle, they were sort of fighting over who got what, because there are personal connections with some of these events. And they were like, no, I want Tower 2. No, I want Angel 1. So they were this became personal just in having a conversation. And this was about layout. This had nothing to do with the actual events of the day. It was just, you can't help but to have that bleed that into what we're trying to accomplish here.
It's interesting that the good Lord always brings us what we need. And Ruggs, thank you for being a part of this journey.
Absolutely.
My hat is tipped off to you, sir, to you and your team. I look very forward to watching the audiences at large feel what it is your passion is about.
Again, I appreciate the honor of just being included. And so I know I just speak for the guys as well. So thank you.
Yeah. And Ruggs, you mentioned our favorite team. I love service members, first responders, and those family members, man, those behind the scene heroes, which brings me to Chuck. Not only did you serve, but you have a son that's serving. So now, when you're not, you're in the bleachers now, Chuck.
Yep.
You're
And Dad has to salute him now. He outranks me.
Oh,
Wow, right?
Yep.
So talk to me about how is this for you? To again, you have this legacy of service. Your family, your son is serving. Of course, you have to salute him, and I'm pretty sure your salute is sharp. But what does this mean to you, my friend?
It's a very personal touch, Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
Obviously, the military cars, when we had those on the road, it was very special. And I can think back to when we were in New York in May of 2010, filming with Governor Huckabee, and we had the cars on the street, and we had these young men that came up many, many, many times over the 3 days. And there was one that we had a hard time talking to. He was very, very emotional looking at the military cars. And finally, at the end, I got a chance to talk with him right when he did a salute to the car. And he told me that that name was his instructor at boot camp.
Wow.
And he said, I hated that SOB. He made my life hell, but he made me a Marine. And he took one step back and saluted him.
Wow.
And those moments that we've had with these people, we not just on the military side, but now with the 9/11 angels and the people we have met, people that have walked up us out of nowhere and said, oh my gosh, I didn't think anybody remembered. And we talk, and again, we always get the stories. We hear the stories. What's your best story? We had a police officer whose best story was having a fight with his brother while they were skiing. All day they were knocking each other down, having fun, got into the bar that night, got into a fight. And I said, brothers have fights. He goes, you don't get it. This was, knuckles to chins to knuckles. And I smashed a picture over his head. And I said, I guess you guys probably made it up, an hour later. He goes, no, I'm picking glass out of his head as we're laughing and drinking. The stories we hear, and we remember these, and we pass them on. And it's very, very important because, as you indicated before, the kids don't know this. And they come up to us and say, what are these race cars? What is this? So we have to give them. And the mantra that Kevin gave Fueled by the Fallen is, teach a child to thank a hero today. Teach respect, receive respect. And that is what we try to do across the country.
And we also try to remind people of 7 forgotten words. Yes, sir. No, sir. Please. And thank you.
I love it. Kevin and Ruggs and Chuck and Tiffany, you guys are, and I gotta say, Chuck, like you said, they stole my heart too, man. I mean, my heart is about that big. But
I know.
it's about that. But I will say, and everyone, you guys heard those the passion, the authenticity from the folks on this show here, and the key words that Kevin left. Kevin, one, how can people support you? How can they find you? And please leave some amazing. Please don't invoice me for the amazing tips and passion you guys are leaving. Let's keep this pro bono. But what can you leave our folks, you and Tiffany?
We are on Facebook, and find us at Fueled by the Fallen, and follow our journey and say hello. And support us any way you can. Just reach out. If you need me to pick up the phone to say hello, I certainly will. I listen to everybody's needs, stories, just exchange. Listen, we're all in this together. I want to keep these cars on the road. I want to make sure that these cars continue to touch everybody's hearts, and they do. And with Ruggs' new talent and his ability, I really believe that these will be probably end up in a Hot Wheels form for the children, that they can play with them and read back on the back of that Hot Wheels brochure that says, hey, this is why we made these cars. They are your heroes, etc., etc., etc. Tell the story so that our youngins can know what their future will be about for themselves, that they can protect it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Tiffany?
Yes.
We love you, Sergeant
We love you,
Major.
Sergeant Major.
What I got to say is, Sergeant Major and Ruggs, someday you have to be part of one of our local trips. You need to drive the cars and experience what we've seen and continue to see. to drive the road and have the kids, waving at us and the cameras on the phones, to stop at a gas station and have people come up to you and tell you this story, where they were that day or somebody they knew, and you share the hugs. And trust me, we share a lot of hugs. And then to be at the event and watch the people's eyes. You both need to join us on a local trip someplace.
Chuck, yes, sir. That is definitely a commitment that Nicole and I will do, and we hope to put our little arms around you guys when we see you. And James, do you have any parting words before? I know you guys are having fun, so I don't like to say let you go because you're busy, because we're having fun making sure our future of our nation's in great hands. Over to you, Ruggs.
Gosh, I guess what I would say to anyone is just, I wasn't a part of this until I was. Okay, it doesn't take much. It takes bringing your passion and what you have to offer to an event or to a forum like this, and jump in with both feet, because it feels really good. You don't have to be military. You don't have to be a first responder. But you know what? All you have to do is have a big heart and feel the passion of this and care about your children's future by honoring the past. And that doesn't take a whole lot. Just give what you got.
Amen. Well, you guys heard it. Please get on Facebook, Fueled by the Fallen. The links will be in the show notes. Share this content on audio, share it on video. Kevyn Major Howard and his lovely bride, Tiffany, aka Rafterman, for all you Marines out there, that iconic, you guys know the deal movie. But again, get folks involved. Not what can I do, but what can be done to ensure our future is never forgotten. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless every single one of you.
Thank you.